Mobile Apps also makes apps for bloggers, actors, and producers. The process only takes about 20 minutes. Just go to bbmobileapps.com and click Get Started Now. That's bbmobileapps.com and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you. There's a storm coming! Ha ha! A firestorm. Get ready to raise your game because watching sports will never be the same. Introducing FireFan. It's a game changer. Finally, a sports app that puts you into the game. You predict the scores, you call the plays in real time while you watch and compete against sports heroes, celebrities, friends, family, or other die-hard fans. The more you call it, the more points you can achieve. Also, be a loyal fan and earn loyalty rewards. Don't miss the hottest app of the year, FireFan. Ignite your passion. Yeah! Yes, sir. Yeah. Register now at firefan.com today. Enter player rewards code TDSS. That's player rewards TDSS. Play the game, fan the fire, earn rewards. Hour number 2 of the Doug Stewart Show, baby. Let's go. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. It is a Tribute Tuesday. And thank you so much for joining your boy, man. I really do appreciate it. Paying homage to the great Christopher Wallace, a.k.a. Frank White, the king of New York. I just jotted down, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I'm going to read the chat here in a second, I promise you. I got you, Redland Kirk. I know I've been saying that for 15 minutes. But I jotted down my top 5 rappers of all time, and it actually changed. Like, my top 5 list was the same way, I don't know, forever, until recently. I added Jay-Z to my list. That's right. I bumped back KRS-One, and I put Jay-Z in my list. And my list is New York heavy. I talked about that earlier, the dominance of hip-hop. When I think rap, the first thing I think about is lyrics and lyricists. For some reason, these rappers today, they kind of put this big emphasis on the music. Well, we're not talking about the production. And the young people today do this as well. We're not talking about the production. We're not talking about the music. We're talking about the rapping. We're talking about the lyrics. The lyrics. We're talking about your metaphors, your punchlines. You know, can you tell a story? Can you freestyle? That's what I'm talking about. And so, not that there aren't a lot of great rappers that could be in conversation of the greatest rappers of all times. There's just too many rappers to say this is the top 5. But if I had to give a top 5, number 1 on my list is still the great Rakim Allah. I'm sorry. Number two on my list, and we've done this before. I've done this many a times on the 2 Live Shoes. Number 2 on my list is Biggie Smalls. And technically, you know what? I mean, I really could put Biggie at number 1 if I wanted to. At number 1, numero uno, if I wanted to. But I think just out of respect, and because he came around during the era that I came out, you know, that in my fluent years, high school years, I got Rakim at number 1. So Rakim number 1, Biggie number 2. Number 3 is Tupac Shakur. Just legacy in general. Everything surrounding the artist, his life, the person, his legend, and he was a fantastic lyricist as well. Could really spit. And then his body of work, he's got so much music. The man literally must have lived in studios because, I mean, he still got music coming out today. So just his overall legacy in the industry, man, I got Tupac at number 3. Number 4, a lot of people disagree with me on this, but I'm sorry. I give homage to the legends. This cat been doing it for about 30 years. When did, I think Crush Groove came out in like 1988. This man been doing it for 30 years, man. Number 4 on my list, I got LL Cool J. Ladies love Cool J. Yeah. I mean, one of the biggest stars in hip-hop from the very beginning. Your greenhorns wouldn't understand, but when he came out with I'm Bad, like that was the hottest song in the world for the entire summer long. That was like one of the biggest, you know, hits in hip-hop history early on. And that was like late 80s. This man, it was the first person to ever do a hip-hop love song with I Need Love. His stability, his staying power, and being around and being relevant 30 years after the fact. And oh yeah, he will cut you up and freestyle it. He's a real rapper. Like LL will destroy you behind the microphone. People think that he's arrogant and he thinks he's bad and this, that, and the other. He actually did a song called Bad. You know, and they don't like LL. They think he's soft for this, that, and the other. A lot of it's jealousy. A lot of it's just jealousy of LL, okay? Because most chicks that love hip-hop and that grew up listening to hip-hop, they love LL Cool J. I got a homegirl, man, that would absolutely do anything for LL Cool J right now, and she's damn near 50 years old. And then here's the guy I added to my list at number 5, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. At number 5, I took out KRS-One and I added Jigga Man. There was just no denying him. There's just no denying him. At this point in the conversation, there's just no denying Jay-Z and what he's done, what he's meant to the industry. The power moves, not Jay-Z the businessman, but Jay-Z the businessman, as he said it. And lyrically, I mean, he's just phenomenal. And this is another cat that can flip his style. You know, Jay-Z was one of those fast rappers, like when he first started out. And really come a long way from Hawaiian Sophie, if you remember that track that he did with Jazz, was a Jazzo. And just done too much in the industry to just ignore at this point. And it's saying a lot for me to put Jay-Z over KRS-One, who the teacher is one of my favorites of all time. Still relevant to this day, but that's my top 5, man. Number 1, Rakim. Number 2, Biggie. Number 3, Tupac. Number 4, LL Cool J. Hate on him if you want. And number 5, Jigga Man, Jay-Z. I think they're going to give their top 5s in the Kicking It With Kesey show coming up today as well. So I want to hear what their top 5s are. And once again, listen, there's only 5 spots. There's a lot of cats that you can bring in the conversation, man, as the greatest ever. A lot of people say Andre 3000, Ice Cube. A lot of people talk about, KRS-One, Big Daddy Kane, Lil Wayne, Drake starting to even be talked about now, which is blasphemy. How the F you talking about some damn Drake? So that's going to be fun today to listen to those cats and hear what they got to say about their top 5s and this controversy about Biggie Smalls not being, a top 5 rapper of all time. Redland Kirk said in the chat room a couple of segments ago now, he says, what if, let's just make up a name, Barry Bonds was considered a cheater in his sport? How would the people in his sport talk about him? Preach! Preach! That's very well put. That's very well put. We have an example of what I was talking about earlier. When you talk about Tom Brady and his greatness, we have a perfect example. Barry Bonds is considered like the scourge, the filth, the most disgraceful baseball player that's ever played the sport. Let me remind you of something. This is what I do. I point things out. And this is probably part of the reason why I'm not on First Take anymore. We're not at ESPN anymore. But that's fine. But let me point something out for you. If you're new to the Doug Stewart Show, because you've heard this before if you listen to this show and you listen to the 2 Live Stews, let me point something out to you that you may not have known. Barry Bonds has never failed a drug test. Hello? Hello? Yeah, let me repeat that for you one more time. Because I'm sure that you were under the impression that Barry Bonds failed like 11 drug tests. That's not the case. Barry Bonds has never failed a drug test. Now, there's a lot of smoke. And really, I don't know if there's technically a lot of smoke. What? His head got big? Allegedly? What, he hit a bunch of home runs, more home runs in one particular year than he did in other years? So what? My point is this is an exact perfect example of what I'm talking about. the narrative around Barry Bonds is he's the most disgraceful baseball player to ever lace him up. He is. Why? Because of innuendo, because of a lot of allegations, because we think that he had to have been doing something, because he used steroids, allegedly. The man's never failed a drug test, but if you talk to baseball people, if the conversation comes up about Barry Bonds with baseball people, with these so-called baseball purists, from these baseball analysts, Barry Bonds is nothing but the dregs of baseball society. And Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback that ever played, and they never even bring up the fact that he just served a 4-game suspension, that his coach has been fined many, many times, that the organization has been fined many, many times for cheating. Many, many times. Close to $2 million in fines. But when you hear this conversation about Tom Brady, you can go back from the start of the season this year when he came back from suspension. I haven't heard one analyst, one of these so-called analysts, couple the fact that, yes, Brady is playing good. They go out and they win games, and he's looking dominant as a quarterback. But no one, mentions that little thing anymore since the season has started and since he's been, back from the suspension. No one brings up the fact that it's pretty clear. If you think it's pretty clear that Barry Bonds cheated, which very well could be the case, it's pretty clear that Tom Brady had these equipment guys to deflate these footballs so he can get a better grip on the damn football. But the narrative is Barry Bonds is once again the dregs of baseball society. And Tom Brady is just put by Jim Kelly, another Hall of Famer, is the greatest quarterback that ever lived. Yeah. So, it is what it is, man. I'm not going to stay on that all day. I'll spend a lot of time on that. But just understand that around here, all we're going to do and all we can do is keep it real. That's all that we offer around here is realness and fun. All right? That's all that we offer around here on the realest, trillest sports and guy talk show in America, the Doug Stewart Show. Get your hand off that goddamn dog. Get it off. We'll be back in 3 minutes. Don't go away.
The sleeper pick, the guy only you believe in. In 1 week fantasy football on DraftKings, he can be the difference. So trust your gut. Trust your numbers. Trust your Uncle Vito if you want. But know this, that sleeper is out there. The question is, who's going to play him? This is DraftKings. Welcome to the big time.
To create your account, click on the banner link on thedougsstewartshow.com or the Doug Stewart Show app. Do you have your own radio show? Are you an artist or a DJ? BB Mobile Apps is the solution for you. They specialize in creating mobile apps for entertainers. That's right. You can have your own mobile app where your followers can hear your shows or music, watch your videos, and view all your social networks in one place. You can even make money with banner ads and send push notifications directly to your audience to make sure they get your messages. Everyone has their phones on them, right? A mobile app will add credibility to your brand because your content will be accessible to them while they're on the go. BV Mobile Apps also makes apps for bloggers, actors, and producers. The process only takes about 20 minutes. Just go to bvmobileapps.com and click Get Started Now. That's bvmobileapps.com and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you. There's a storm coming. a firestorm. Get ready to raise your game because watching sports will never be the same. Introducing FireFan. It's a game changer. Finally, a sports app that puts you into the game. You predict the scores, you call the plays in real time while you watch and compete against sports heroes, celebrities, friends, family, or other die-hard fans. The more you call it, the more points you can achieve. Also, be a loyal fan and earn